The city lights glittered through the tall windows of a luxury penthouse. Kletchi stood still, hands in his pocket, staring into the night. He was one of the richest young men in the country. Owner of companies, houses in Lagos, Abuja, even Dubai. Cars with names most people couldn't pronounce. But he wasn't happy. He felt like a stranger in his own life. His fiancé, Adara, only smiled when she got gifts. She liked posting her designer bags online, showing off her soft life. But Kletchi noticed something. She never hugged him unless someone was watching. She never asked how his day went. She only cared about the next trip, the next diamond. One afternoon, Kletchi sat at the poolside. Zubair, his cousin and only true friend, joined him with 2 glasses of juice. "You're quiet," Zubair said. Kletchi took a deep breath. "I don't think she loves me." Zubair blinked. "Adara?" "Yes. I need to know before I marry her. I need to be sure." Zubair sipped his juice slowly. "What do you want to do?" Kletchi looked straight ahead. "I want to vanish, but still be here. I want to lose everything. Let's see who stays." That night, Kletchi went into his home office. He called his lawyer, his accountant, his entire wealth, frozen, locked, hidden in private holdings. Then he made one final call. "Paul, send the Rolls-Royce to the warehouse. I need an old Camry. Yes, the dusty one." The next morning, Adara came downstairs in her silk robe. "Kletchi, babe, the car's not outside. Where is Paul?" Kletchi sat on the couch quietly. "I let all the workers go." "What? I've lost everything." Adara laughed. "Stop joking, Jor. I'm serious. One of my partners stole from the company. Everything's gone. The cars, the properties. Even this house. We must leave soon." Adara froze. "You mean I'm now a poor woman?" Kletchi looked down. Adara screamed. "God forbid! Me? Poverty? I knew it. I told my friend not to trust Lagos men. Kletchi, you're wicked!" Kletchi didn't say a word. Adara stormed upstairs. Her footsteps were loud and angry. Kletchi sat still, staring at the silent TV screen. His heart ached, but his mind was clear. This was just the beginning. The mansion was quiet that evening. Kletchi sat at the dining table eating alone. No soft music, no clinking wine glasses, just silence and the sound of Adara crying upstairs. But he didn't go to her. He needed to see her heart first. The next morning, Adara came downstairs with a cold face. "So, what now?" she asked. Kletchi looked up, calm. "We'll move to my uncle's. House in the village. It's all I have left." Adara laughed so hard she almost choked. "Village? You want me to live in a village? With goats and mosquitoes? Kletchi, are you drunk?" "It's the only place I can go right now." Adara folded her arms. "Well, I'm not going. Go alone." Kletchi stood up. "Then this engagement is over." Adara gasped. "Over? Because I don't want to follow you into suffering?" Kletchi stayed quiet. Adara hissed. "Fine, I'll go. But don't expect me to eat yam and fetch water. I'm not a village girl." Later that day, Kletchi sold one last thing, his designer watch. With the money, he bought food and petrol for the long trip. Then he picked up Adara. No makeup, no lashes, just shades and anger. The drive was long. Adara complained every second. "This car smells like poverty," she muttered. "Where's the AC? Why are we passing trees? Where are the buildings?" Kletchi didn't respond. After 4 hours, they arrived. A small mud house stood in the middle of a dry compound. No gate, no running water, no electricity. Adara refused. To come out of the car. Are you mad, Kletchi? Are we supposed to live here? Where are the maids? Where's the bathroom? Kletchi stepped out quietly. This is it, Adara cried. God, why me? Why did I agree to this engagement? Why didn't I listen to Sandra when she told me to marry Chief Jide? Kletchi opened the rusty front door. Inside, a small bed, a wooden chair, and one oil lamp. No TV, no fridge, no luxury. Adara stood outside like a statue. Kletchi brought her bag in himself. That night, Adara sat in a corner, staring at the wall. Kletchi lit the lamp and began to sweep the dusty floor. Where's the generator? She asked. There's none. No fan? No. Adara hissed and lay on the floor without saying another word. The next morning, Kletchi stepped outside and stretched. A rooster crowed in the distance. He turned and saw Adara still sleeping. He let her rest. By afternoon, she finally woke up. I had a nightmare, she whispered. I dreamt I was in a village. Kletchi didn't say anything. He handed her a small plate of soaked gari. Adara stared at it. Where's the bread? Where's the eggs? This is what we have. Adara pushed the plate away. I'd rather starve. Later that day, as Kletchi fetched water from the stream, a group of village women passed by. They looked at him with pity. City people don't last here, one whispered. Another added, but that one, her skin is too fresh. She'll cry, soon. Kletchi smiled sadly. They were right, but he had to finish what he started. This was a test of love, and Adara was already failing. The sun was hot that afternoon. Kletchi sat outside the mud house fixing a broken bench. His shirt was soaked in sweat, his hands dirty. Inside, Adara scrolled through her phone. No network. She threw the phone across the mat. This is madness, she muttered. This is not life. This is prison. A knock came at the door. Adara opened it. A short old woman smiled with no front teeth. Good afternoon, daughter. I'm Mama Nkechi. I brought you some mangoes. Adara didn't even smile. No, thank you. I don't eat village things. She slammed the door. The old woman stood outside, confused. Kletchi watched from the side and shook his head. This wasn't just pride. It was disrespect. That evening, Kletchi returned with firewood. Adara just sat in silence, filing her nails. I saw some villagers farming today, he said, trying to spark conversation. We can start something small. Adara rolled her eyes. Start what? Me? Farm? Are you okay? Kletchi looked at her gently. We need food. Adara stood up, furious. This is a trap. You want to turn me into a village woman. Is that your plan? No, Kletchi replied. I want us to survive. Adara stormed inside. The next day, Adara wore her finest wrapper, applied lipstick, and sprayed strong perfume. Kletchi noticed. Where are you going? To fetch firewood, she said with a sarcastic smile. But Kletchi knew she was lying. She walked down the dusty road, not toward the forest, but toward the market. Behind a small bar sat Chief Oduma, a fat man in a shiny white kaftan, gold chains swinging over his big stomach. Adara walked up slowly. Good afternoon, Chief, she said sweetly. The man looked up, grinning. Ah, city lady. You're the one living in Old Man Okoya's compound, right? Adara smiled. That's me. Chief Oduma patted the bench beside him. Come sit, beautiful. Sit and let's talk. She sat. My husband is struggling, she whispered. We came from the city. But I can't continue like this. The chief smiled wider. You deserve better. I can give you more. But you must keep me company. Adara giggled. I'm a good companion, Chief. Just don't tell my husband. They both laughed. From a distance, Mom and Kletchi watched everything, with her wide village eyes. Ah, she muttered. See shame. Meanwhile, Kletchi was trying to cook yam with firewood. Zubair had arrived to check on him. How's the test going? Zubair asked, squatting beside him. Kletchi's voice cracked. I'm seeing things I wish I never saw. Zubair patted his back. It hurts now, but it will save you from a lifetime of pain. Later that night, Adara returned with a nylon bag filled with meat and groundnut oil. Where did you get this? Kletchi asked gently. A woman in the market gave it to me. She replied quickly. Kletchi looked at her, but said nothing. He was used to silence now. As they ate, Adara served only herself. Kletchi took his dry yam and ate without salt. She didn't even look at him. But Daniel, a young neighbor boy, ran into the compound. Uncle Kletchi, Mom and Kletchi, says she saw your wife with Chief Aduma. Adara dropped her spoon. What is this bush rat saying? Kletchi stood up. His eyes were calm, but cold. Is it true? He asked softly. Adara didn't blink. So what if I talk to the chief? At least he smells like money, not like firewood. The words hit him like a slap. Kletchi turned and walked out into the dark. Adara didn't follow him. She just adjusted her wrapper and kept eating. That night, Kletchi sat outside, staring at the moon. She's failing. He whispered, She's not who I thought she was. But the test wasn't over. The real betrayal hadn't even started yet. The next morning, Adara stood in front of a small mirror, trying to fix her hair. There was no light, no water, no cream. She hissed loudly. Kletchi, I can't live like this. My skin is peeling. My hair is breaking. Even the goats look fresher than me. Kletchi sat outside on a wooden stool, peeling cassava. We need to adjust, he said quietly. This is our life now. Adara laughed bitterly. Your life, not mine. She walked back in and slammed the door. Later that day, Kletchi returned from the farm. His shirt was torn, his hands full of blisters. Adara sat under a mango tree with her legs crossed, chewing gum. Beside her was Chief Aduma, fanning himself with a newspaper. Kletchi paused when he saw them. Adara didn't even blink. She looked him straight in, the eye, then turned back to the chief and laughed loudly. Kletchi dropped the cassava and walked inside. He didn't say a word. That night, Zubair visited again. He saw the pain in Kletchi's eyes. You okay? He asked. Kletchi nodded. She's gone. Not physically, but inside she's gone. Zubair sighed. Should we stop the test? No, Kletchi whispered. Let her finish the performance. Days passed. Adara stopped pretending. She would leave early in the morning and come back at night smelling of cheap wine and foreign perfume. She now walked like a queen in a village that didn't crown her. One morning, she returned with a new gold bracelet. Kletchi looked at her. Wrist. You're shining. Adara smiled. Some people know how to treat a woman. He didn't ask who. He already knew. Then came the day Kletchi couldn't bear it anymore. He returned home early and stopped dead in his tracks. Adara was sitting outside on Chief Aduma's lap, her arms around him, their lips locked. The villagers gasped. Mama Kletchi dropped her basket of oranges. Zubair, standing across the road, clenched his fists. Kletchi walked slowly toward them. Adara looked up, surprised but not ashamed. Oh, you're home early. Kletchi stood still. This is the man you left me for? Adara got up and laughed. You left yourself. The moment you became poor, you became useless. Chief Oduma is a real man." The chief smiled proudly. "Let the woman decide where she belongs." Kletchi took one long look at her. Then he nodded. "I see." He turned around and walked away. Adara didn't stop him. Not even a sorry. Not even a blink. That night, she sat with the chief again, drinking soft drinks and gossiping. "You should marry me, chief," she whispered. "I'm tired of sleeping on a mat." The chief laughed. "You have big dreams, woman, but don't rush." She smiled and leaned closer. "Rush me, chief. I'm ready." Meanwhile, Kletchi packed his things. A small bag, a few clothes, his silence. Zubair drove him to the motor park. They didn't speak much, but Zubair's eyes were red. "You still love her?" he asked. "I don't know," Kletchi replied. "But I don't hate her. I just see her clearly now." He entered the bus. No goodbyes, no tears, just silence. Back in the village, Adara had taken over the compound. She cooked only for herself. She swept only around her chair. She looked down on everyone, and she told every woman in the village the same thing. "My man may be old, but at least he's rich." But what Adara didn't know was that the real story was just about to begin, because while she played queen in a house of sand, Kletchi was about to return as a king. The village sun was cruel, the air dusty. But Adara, she was glowing, or at least she thought she was. She now wore the finest wrappers in the village, gold bangles on both hands, new sandals. Everyone knew she was seeing Chief Oduma, but no one respected her. Behind her back, the women called her Madam Disgrace. Even the little children sang. She left her husband for meat and malt. Inside Golden Palm Lodge, a cheap village hotel with faded curtains, Adara lay on the bed beside Chief Oduma. He was shirtless, his big stomach rising and falling as he chewed roasted meat. Adara sipped a cold malt and smiled. "You're different, Chief. You treat me like a queen." The chief grinned. "That's because you know how to make a man happy." Adara leaned closer. "Then marry me. Let's build a big house. I'll Samash give you a son." Chief Oduma paused. "Adara, slow down." "Why? You promised." The chief cleared his throat. "I said I might. Let's see how things go." Adara frowned. "So I left everything for you, and now you want to see how things go?" Chief Oduma chuckled. "You left nothing. That man you were with was finished. I just picked you from the gutter." Adara froze. "What did you say?" The chief got up. "You heard me. I'll send you money when I feel like. Don't pressure me." He picked up his trousers and left the room. Adara sat there in silence, mouth slightly open, eyes wide. The cold malt no longer tasted sweet. The next day, she returned to the compound. Villagers looked at her and whispered. Maman Kletchi passed by and laughed loudly. "Adara, Madam City, is your mansion ready yet?" Adara hissed, "Witch," but inside her heart was shaking. Back in the room, she opened her nylon bag. Empty. She had spent all her chief money on perfume and show-off. Her phone buzzed. A call from Chief Oduma. She smiled. "Chief, I missed you." But the voice on the phone wasn't his. "This is his wife," the voice growled. "Stay away from my husband, or I'll drag your name to the elders." Adaora's hand shook. She dropped the phone like it was hot coal. Night fell. Inside the mud house, Adara sat with no light. She was sweating, hungry, angry. And that's when Maman Kletchi knocked. She didn't wait to be welcomed in. She entered, sat on the bed, and crossed her legs. Adara. I just returned from the city. Adara looked up. So? Mom and Kletchi opened a folded newspaper. See this. She pointed at a photo. Adara squinted. It was Kletchi, wearing a fine suit, standing next to a governor, cutting a ribbon to open a new mansion. Adara blinked fast. That's old. No. Mom and Kletchi said it happened yesterday. She brought out her phone, a clearer photo. Kletchi, smiling, in front of a house 10 times bigger than their former one. Adara stood up suddenly. Wait, he's rich again? Mom and Kletchi laughed. My dear, he was never poor. He just pretended. Adara's knees buckled. No, it's a lie. Oh, it's truth. He just wanted to see your real face. Mom and Kletchi got up brushing dust off her wrapper. Now he has seen it. She walked out. Adara sat down, breath shaky, heart racing. God, what have I done? The city was noisy. Cars honked. People moved fast. But inside Kletchi's new mansion, there was stillness. He stood by the balcony, dressed in a clean white shirt, watching the sunset. His phone buzzed. Zubair's message. It's done. The village knows. Kletchi didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. He just sat down, alone,